This videotape has two sections. The first two animals you will see are alpacas that were on a perennial ryegrass pasture and developed signs of ryegrass staggers. They are 6-month-old juvenile alpacas. Note the movement of the alpaca's head, the tremors of the head, and the tremors of the muscle of the neck. This is very characteristic of a moderately severe ryegrass staggers. This animal encountered Lolotrim B with perennial ryegrass pasture and developed this condition. After 2 days of being off the pasture, he slowly began to recover. This is the group of the 6-month-old alpacas that the first brown animal was with. There were 6 affected alpacas affected within a few days' time. Note the slight tremoring of the head of the cream-colored alpaca on the screen. Again, removal from the affected pasture resulted in reduction of signs and return to normal. The next section of this videotape will show the examination procedure needed to examine an animal for signs of ryegrass staggers. This is an adult horse that we're going to use as an example of examining an animal for ryegrass staggers. We will start at the head and look for tremors of the muscles in the jaw and of the lips, and then we will move the camera starting on the left side over the muscles of the neck to the shoulder area and then to the forelimb. As you examine the muscles of the shoulder, you have to be careful not to confuse muscle twitching due to flies, which this horse is doing right now, with the muscle fasciculations of ryegrass staggers. After you look at the front limb, you move to the hind limb on this left side, and you're looking at the thigh muscles on either side of the hip. You go around the horse and you look at the muscles again on the opposite side, the rest side, looking for about 20 to 30 seconds for any sign of muscle contraction, muscle fasciculation. And then you move up the horse and look at the muscles of the front leg, again looking at the triceps and the muscles of the shoulder, the muscles of the neck. You see occasional flipping, you see the flies, and right in here is where you're going to be looking for those muscle fasciculations. What you're seeing there with the muscle contraction is due to flies bothering this horse. Okay. All of this examination of the muscles is at rest before the animal has any exercise. The next section of the exam will be to walk the animal back and forth while videotaping as the animal approaches you, as it walks past you, and then as it walks away from you, focusing on the muscle groups propelling that animal forward. The animal will then turn and come back towards you, and then walk past you again and away from you. And that gives you a view of all the muscles on all the sides, from the front view, the side view,
We'll do that 4
and
times.
the caudal or hind view. You need to walk the horse approximately. In preparation for this study, all camels should be individually videotaped and be identified by a number. This will be the baseline gait for each animal and will be compared to the same animal after that animal will eat some level of endophyte affected perennial ryegrass straw. Please assign non-sequential numbers to each animal in each treatment group so that they will be not grouped together. This randomized assignment of numbers for identification will enable us to not associate sequential numbers being associated with a certain level of feed. These videotapes are very important because it will be the only evidence that certain levels of Lolitrim B in the straw cause ryegrass staggers in camels. I want to give thanks to Drs. Craig and Dr. Chuck Estelle and Ben Estelle for helping make this film. I will be reviewing each of the camels prior to being fed any ryegrass staggers, producing straw, and any suspected cases afterwards as a blind evaluator of this condition in this study. Switching to get to the slide. Turn.
Come on, Turbo. Good boy. Good boy, Turbo. Come on. Come on, Turbo. Keep going. Come on, Turbo. Good boy.
At the end of 3, there will be one more full sweep, and then the part ends.
Turbo, come on, buddy. Come on, Turbo. Turbo. Come on, Turbo. Turbo, come on.
Okay, turn. Then you'll stop right in front of Ben, and Ben's going to videotape the left side of the horse's face. Gotta stop. Whoa. Now, Ben, stop the recording.
Whoa.
Stage 3 is examining the animal for muscle fasciculations after he has gone through this series of 4 passes or 4 walks back and forth. And now what we're looking for are muscle fasciculations after exercise.